So did you have two guns on you when this happened or one gun?
I had two guns.
Were you shooting both guns, like one with each hand? Is that what you were?
Yeah.
Harvard police say two of their officers with the violent crime unit were in an unmarked car near the intersection of Keeney Terrace and Vine Street Tuesday evening when they say 18-year-old Alijay Wallen opened fire.
And open fire he did, like in the movies, firing with his right and his left. And it was by the grace of God that no one was killed. The bullets went through the unmarked cruiser, through the windshield, and missed one of the officers by inches. Now, the weak on crime DA in the state of Connecticut only charged him with criminal attempt in first degree and unlawful discharge of a weapon, not attempted murder. And again, this is charged, not convicted. And now here he is after being sentenced to 15 years, but suspended after just 6 years and 4 months, up for parole. And it is one of those Connecticut classics. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Mandalorians, be careful about drinking the Connecticut water. And with that, let's jump in.
Alijay Wallen, 433-196.
Thank you. This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Alijay Wallen, inmate number 433-196, serving a sentence of 15 years, execution suspended after 6 years and 7 months, followed by 4 years of probation for attempted assault first degree. As of today, records reflect a parole eligibility date of July 1st, 2025. There's no victim input in this case. There is an offender accountability plan in place. It shows that he has completed good intentions, best voices, anger management, along with people empowering people. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender's overall score in the RT falls in the moderate range for recidivism. Sir, this is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole, and you may begin.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address the board. And I feel like the person I came in that I was when I came in jail, I don't feel like I'm that person anymore. I have learned a lot throughout the years. And yeah, well, I didn't always say jail, it took jail for me to learn or to do good or to change anything in my life, but jail did help me change those things in my life. Unfortunately, this is how it had to happen for me to, things had to go this route, unfortunately, but I have learned things, I have changed things in my life. I can't say I have became a better person than who I was. I could say that with confidence. And I want to keep going, I was over in Cheshire. At one point, I was also in the Chuk program, and the conditions in the Chuk, even though it's jail, the conditions in the Chuk program and the conditions in general populations is very different. The conditions in the Chuk program, you feel that you could grow, you got space to grow and you do more, you develop more and become more. After I left the Chuk program, went back to general population, it's as if those conditions wasn't there no more. I don't see those conditions like growing. It's like you by yourself, now you gotta look out for yourself. You gotta make sure you're doing good by yourself, and ain't nobody there to help out or look out for you. You all you got. And yeah, I made a few mishaps, but I try to make up for those.
So thank you very much, Mr. Wallen, for your opening statement, sir. So what is going to happen is each of us will take turns asking you questions. And when we are done with our questions, we will deliberate and give you our decision. We appreciate your statement and your accepting responsibility for your actions, and you're sharing with us that you have changed. And now we will ask some questions to gauge how you've changed. All right? Mr. Suzalskis, we'll start with questions.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So in the interview with the parole officer, you said that you would have not fired at the two people in the car if you had known that they were police officers. Do you remember that?
I don't remember saying that, but okay. I don't remember saying that, but okay.
Yeah, it was in the interview that I read from the parole officer.
All right. If I didn't say okay.
But I was just trying to understand, regardless of who they were, You know what I mean? What is the
Oh,
difference?
well, yeah, understood.
Yeah.
Well, when I said it like
Were
that,
they-
I feel like I feel like she misinterpreted what I was trying to say. I feel like when I said that, I feel like she took it as, oh, so it was somebody else who would have shot at them. No, that's not the case at all. It's just that was more so like, yeah. I mean, now that you say it, I can see why she may have thought of it.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case at all, though. It didn't matter who was in the vehicle. I had no business shooting at them in the first place. And it's just.
I mean, were they threatening you? Was it just a car driving by? I mean, what? I'm trying to
To
understand
be
why you're
honest,
shooting at
No,
these two people. Why were you shooting at them?
I was coming from the corner store, and as you may know, I'm living in the north end of Hartford, and
Yeah.
there's a lot going on over there. I'm coming from the corner store. The car is following right beside me the whole time. Then I looked, and it sped off. It sped off and drove off and came around the block again and did the same thing again. And then that's what had me paranoid, and I thought it was out to get me. And I started shooting.
They didn't point a gun at you or say, "I'm going to kill you." They didn't do any. They didn't threaten you. Just a car was following you, and you shot.
It was following me. Yeah.
Okay.
It was following.
They were following you because, you didn't know they were the police, but they were following you because they thought that you had a gun. I guess they were right. Because you fired at them because they were following you. I'm trying to understand if you felt threatened, like if they were doing something to make you feel like you were in such danger for your life but it's a rough neighborhood, you said? You were carrying a gun and you thought they were out to get you and you shot at the car.
They was coming towards me as if they was coming to get me. They left and came back. And did it again and came back
Cars
again.
do drive around the block and stuff. I mean, cars do drive around the block. People are lost looking for, it could be any reason why someone does that, not necessarily trying to get you, why were you carrying
my response,
Go ahead. I want to hear it. Yeah, that's what we're here for. I want to hear your response. Go ahead.
Yeah, my response isn't to justify my actions. My response is to the questions you asked me. I'm responding to it. I'm giving you the answer. So I'm not trying to justify my actions or trying to. No, that's not what I'm trying to do at all. I'm trying to answer your question.
Understood.
Directly forward as you asked me.
I appreciate that because that's what he wants, just to try to find out what happened. We're not going to talk about. We're going to move more into some other things in a minute, but I wanted to go over what happened. So did you have two guns on you when this happened, or one gun?
I had two guns.
Were you shooting both guns, like one with each hand? Is that what you were?
Yeah.
Okay. So why did you talked about it being a rough neighborhood? I'm just trying to understand why you were carrying two guns. One gun, two guns. Why were you carrying guns at all?
You said why?
Yeah. Why did you have to carry a gun around?
Because at that time I felt like that was protecting me. At that time I felt safe having a gun on me at that time. I felt protected at that time.
So if you go back to Hartford at some point, how are you gonna? It hasn't changed really, How are you gonna feel walking around without a gun now?
Well, to be honest, my plan is not to go back to Hartford, but if I do go back to Hartford, I will not be having a gun because if I do go back, I'll be going to either my sister or my grandmother's house, and I'm out of Hartford. So before I used to be in Hartford, hanging out with friends and all that, chilling and all that, but that was the problem. Chilling in Hartford, hanging out in Hartford.
So before this incident happened, had you been using marijuana or alcohol or any other drugs that day before this happened? Do you remember?
When I was home, I smoked very often, so it was a high percentage that I got high before.
Okay.
Or I was high, I was intoxicated. It's a percentage that I was.
Okay. So you've had, looks like 13 disciplinary reports during your incarceration. But why do you think you had so much trouble while you've been in prison with disciplinary reports?
Well, if you should go over the disciplinary reports, you will see that Yes, I got a lot of disciplinary reports, but you will see that it was periods of time where I wasn't getting in no form of trouble at all. It was years actually that I wasn't getting in no trouble.
Yeah.
And I'll catch a ticket like another year or so. But at times it was tickets so as like, because I got to use the bathroom or be in the bathroom. It's recall. Like if you go back, you'll see it's recall, and I may lock up late. You know, it was another ticket where I was using somebody's phone. So yeah, so it's just.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, some of these are just minor rule violations, but you have to go by the rules, you know what I mean, while you're incarcerated.
Yeah.
I know that they're not all serious, I get that.
That's
But,
true. That's true.
But you do have some contraband ones in here from last year, some other stuff that's a little bit more serious. Now you were in the True unit at one time, what happened with that? How come you're not still in that?
Yeah, I was in the True program for a while. I was over there. I did. You guys them about me. They're gonna speak very highly about me. But some stuff that happened, and then dudes started getting kicked out, and some way somehow my name got brought up inside of the mix that was going on. And then they came and told me that, you know, due to the fact that all this is happening, I can't be with them no longer. So they kicked me out. I went back to general population. Then I went back to due to anything that happened. I went back to Carl Robinson, and they kicked me out. And I was over there, and they kicked me up. They sent me over there. They sent me over here.
Now, did you complete the Voices program? Did you finish that?
Yeah, I did actually a lot of programs. Actually, I think I like 14 programs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's quite a few. The Voices program talks about victims and what the impact, you know, your actions would have had on the victims, you know? So, I mean, what do you think happened? How do you think these people that were involved in this felt about it? These policemen now that I don't know if they're still on the job or not, but how do you think they were affected by being shot at like that, trying to do their job?
Well, I know it did have a very big impact on them because that would have been anybody that's you're being fired at. So that's anybody that's getting shot at that's gonna affect you. That's gonna leave an impact on you. So unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, I'll cause some damage, and I hope that could be fixed, however, or resolved, or wherever, amend, or whatever it could be. I hope that's a possibility. I hope that's still an option.
Said in your opening statement that you're not the same person today that you were when you came into prison. But what's different? Can you point out something that's different now than from when you came into prison?
To me, before, just to start from the simple and go up on a bigger scale, just to start from the lower scale, even just communication, just talking like that, like I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to communicate how I'm feeling, what I don't like, what I like, I didn't know how to do that. The moment something's happening I don't like or whatever it may be, I'll just shut down and just not talk no more. Just let it happen, and then I'll just react and respond to it. Nowadays, now I'm like, nah, like this is going on. So like, I try to address the situation when I see it, then to leave it alone and let it build up. And then not only that, but you know, I started learning a lot about businesses. You know what I'm saying? Something that I knew nothing about. Like I knew about business, of course. Everybody knew about business, but like as far as how to start a business, how to build it, how to make a business work, how to find clientele that to sustain your business and stuff like that. Like I learned about that.
Yeah.
I learned it's more to life than what we know being in the bad neighborhood. It's more to life than we see, than we know. I learned and understood that, and I learned not to mix up acceptance with understanding. Just because you understand something, you know how it works, and you see it doesn't mean that you accepted it or you're okay with it. So that's another part that I had to break down for myself too: acceptance and understanding.
Okay. So you have a drug and alcohol score of a 3. 5 is the highest, you know, so you have a 3. And then you have an addiction services program on your OAP. Did you ever take that? Did you ever take a tier program?
Yeah. And I took smart recovery too. See, I did. I took smart recovery too.
Which tier program,
Yeah, I
which tier
did.
program did you complete?
Smart recovery.
Okay. You took smart recovery,
Yeah.
but you didn't take tier 2 or tier 4. You don't remember that?
They didn't give it to me. They told me that I could have took. They told me I could take smart recovery, and it will be equivalent to one of those programs.
Okay. I'm not sure if that is or not. I don't think so. Yeah. Because, it sounds like you were using, substances probably leading up to this crime, and you have an addiction services program on your OAP. You haven't really taken it. When I think of addiction services, I'm thinking of the tier 2 or the tier 4 program. You can understand a little bit better how the substances maybe affected your behaviors, especially on this day. You say that you were likely high or maybe intoxicated. Let's talk about your release plan before I finish with my questions. Where are you going to live at and work when you get out?
Well, when I talked to Winger, man, the parole person that was here that interviewed me, I told her that if it's possible, I would like to go to a halfway house and outside, like either outside Hartford, of course. I just don't want to be in Hartford. And
yeah,
of course, I got a resume, but this also, of course, I got to renew it and fix it up and whatever I got to do with it. But employment, I'll definitely be looking for a warehouse. It don't matter. But not only that, but my brothers, they drive trucks, and my brother, he just came in from the Army. He's trying to start selling cars. So it's a lot of things it's a lot of avenues that could make sure I succeed.
Okay, so that's good. You're starting to think about what, just regardless of what happens today, you're getting out. You're getting out soon. You're starting to think about what you're going to do for employment for like long term. Maybe some short term stuff like a warehouse, whatever. Just get working. And then you can work on this other stuff with your brother and a business plan and all that for a longer term plan.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all I have today, sir. Good luck to you. I'm going to see what my colleagues have to say. Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
All right, thanks.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Wow. Well, you were asked quite a few questions by my colleague already. Help me understand this. You've taken all this programming, right? Let's see, you have 2021, 22, you have anger management, you have voices 2022, you have good intentions, bad choices, you have people empowering people 2023, but then you turn around and in 2024, you get all these tickets. I'm trying to understand how the programming help you, kind of change your stuff, turn your stuff around. If after all that programming, you got all those other tickets.
If you should go back and look at the tickets that I caught, it was a lot of minor. Well, even though they was minor, it was like,
you gotta take responsibility for what you did. Come on.
I am.
You took programming to help you avoid those kinds of things, right? No matter what it is, any dispute about something, that's the kind of programming you took. And yet you took programming and you turn around and got tickets in 2024. And I'm trying to kind of figure that out.
And I took full responsibility for my tickets that I caught in 2024, but I took full responsibility. I know.
Yeah, that's all you can do is take responsibility for it. That's what you did, right? The other thing is when in your opening statement, you talked about the True program. You said that was the program where you could really make some changes, and that's the program you got thrown out of. And that's the program you said was the program that you could really get some changes maybe because you can't do it in general pop, right?
But if you should contact that program, they'll tell you I got thrown out. I didn't went but I took responsibility. But if you should contact the True program, they'll explain it all to you. But I took responsibility for that also.
You were an outstanding individual in the program?
Yes, they'll tell you all that. But
why didn't you stay in that program then?
Because I'm gonna break it all. I'm gonna explain it all now. And North 5 and North 4 is a True program in Cheshire. Well, North 5, North 4, and I think North 3. It was an incident that happened in North 4, and there was a kid over there. His name is Adrian, but they call him AJ, and they called me AJ also. When all that incident happened, they went over there to North 4 with the kid Adrian, and they was over there dealing with him. Then when they did with him and everything went down with him, he like, no, they're not talking about me. They're talking about the other AJ.
Oh, so he laid it on you. He laid it on you.
I got no idea of nothing that's going on. I don't know what's happening. The next morning, Lieutenant Quinn and the regular CO came and they knocked at my door and they said, oh, it's a lot that's going on in the True program. And they saying that you got, that's all you got to do with it. So you got to go, they brought me to AP and they had me down there waiting, they had me there sitting. And I asked Quinn, what's going on? Like, why nobody not saying nothing to me? And he like, nah, they throwing you at the program. You all set. They talking about you over there, you running around, you smoking and stuff.
All right, so I guess so there were things that circumstances that happened, but you still got thrown out of the program.
Yeah, I did.
The best program you said you could have taken to kind of change your life around, because you can't, because it's hard to do it in general pop. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
And that's how I got to look at it. I got to look at it.
That hasn't changed. That is still the best program. That hasn't changed.
And I wish you could get back in there and take it again.
Yeah.
It seems like that's the program you want to do well in, but you first of all, you don't have that much time. You are.
If I had an opportunity to go back, I will go back.
Well, you're gonna have to figure out other ways to kind of put your life together. Because I don't think you're gonna go back between now and 26. So.
I mean, I have been before the True program. I was in school. I was doing that. So the True program just helped. I said the condition was right. You're right about that. The condition was proper. It helped me grow more. But that doesn't mean I can't grow. The condition was better for me to grow.
I'm hoping that you can. I'm hoping that you can. Because the last thing we want is to have you come back, right? Yeah. So we're hoping that you can grow.
Yeah.
But I have to be honest with you. I'm challenged by some of your stuff, man. I'm challenged by your DRs. I'm challenged that you took all that programming and then you got those DRs. I mean,
understandable.
You know, and that doesn't mean that I don't think that you kind of, trying to figure out how to kind of grow. I get that. You're trying to do that. I can see that. But you need to use your probation when you come out. Whatever happens today, you need to make sure you use your services, whatever you get, that you use them and learn from them, and don't go back to any of this other stuff. Because when you take those programmings, we expect that you're not going to get any tickets.
Well,
that's what we expect, right?
Yeah.
You get it. You understand that, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. All right. I don't have any additional questions about you. Thank you so much for answering my question, Mr. Well, listen, I really do. I wish you the best of luck, man. I do.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Thank you. So, Mr. Whalen, give us a few minutes to talk about your case, sir. We'll give you our decision, okay?
All right.
I'm broke right now. I ain't not.
Mr. Sosowskis?
Thank you. Yeah, so it looks like Mr. Whalen's 24 years old today. He's here for an attempted assault first. I think it's just by the grace of God, unfortunately, definitely here for 2 murders, 2 police officers. And he shot 2 handguns at a car that he says
that he walked towards.
That his reason was that they drove by twice and he felt unsafe. They weren't.
I was going home. I was walking home.
Okay. So, Mr. Whalen, so your portion of the hearing is over now. So we ask that you please not interrupt. We're going to deliberate, okay? Thank you so much.
So as we've gone over, the nature of circumstances on this are not good. He rates out moderate for risk to recidivate. He says that, prior to this incident happening, he likely was high or intoxicated. And he has an addiction services program on his OEP, has not completed that yet. He's got 13 disciplinary reports. The last one says on the year is December of 2024. So, for me, it's just too much. So I did not have him down as suitable for today. I had the nature and circumstances, constitutional adjustment, and adequate evidence. I'd like to hear my colleague to say.
I had the same reasons, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yeah, and much like I'd like to try to help Mr. Whalen out. I don't think he can. I think it's difficult today to do that. I'm also people of his discussion program.
So with regard to Alijay Wallen 433-196, I move to deny discretionary parole based on the nature and circumstance of his offense for institutional adjustment as demonstrated, evidenced by 13 disciplinary infractions and inadequate evidence of offender change. He will not receive a new hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, so Mr. Whalen, we couldn't support your discretionary parole, sir. You'll receive all of this in writing, and we wish you the best of luck. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
This concludes the hearing. Wallen, inmate number 433-196.
No parole for tape.
Okay,
No parole for tape.
So,
No parole for tape. None.
Okay.
Mr. Tate is not getting parole because of anger issues. That's what's going on here. No parole.
No parole for Tate. No parole for Tate. Again, I can't find my no parole for Tate t-shirt, but I'd be wearing it. And look, I'm giving him a hard time. He doesn't really deserve a no parole for Tate. I don't think. He's not like, it wasn't like he had an anger issue. I thought he was actually kind of likable. And it was interesting because I thought he was actually being straight up, transparent, not BSing. He's like, yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to shoot me, so I shot them. I thought they were a rival. He didn't use the word gang, so he's a little bit, I guess, when you think about that, right? He just thought that they were out to get him, and he, I didn't know that they were police. It doesn't make a difference. He could have taken a very different approach, which is, we've heard it all. We've seen it all. We've seen the stories. But there was something uncanny. It was just something, I don't know if the word uncanny is even the right word. There was just something different. The way that he was like, just answering like nonchalantly without really any self-preservation in mind. But in a way, I kind of respected that. But he lost me when he started making the excuse about why he got kicked out of the program. There's this other guy that looks like me or has a similar name, and they thought it was me. So then, and it's like, okay, man, the second you said that, I don't know why, and then the parole board must have seen, some details in the write-ups. They must have had more information that they weren't exactly sharing with us, because they seem pretty disgusted. And we've seen people come in with many more write-ups than that. And they, there must have been something else, I think. And then there's something else interesting. I don't know. We'll go over the article in a little bit to see if we can get any more details. But I almost wonder if there was another person there with him that he being 18 years old, being a newbie in his, maybe they made him eat the charge. Maybe there were two guns being fired by two people, because it's just so bizarre. I mean, kids, they see it in the movies. Oh, but I don't know. Let's see if we can find any info in the article. That was another thought, that maybe he ate that charge for someone. But, it's the thing again that sticks out most to me, though, is just, we hear the words weak district attorneys, weak on crime, soft on crime. And these are, this is a lot that's happening in the background, that, a district attorney is voted in, but there are so few people that even vote in the district attorney, and so few people that get involved in those elections. But someone can run on, oh, we're going to have an alternative approach to crime. And then this alternative approach is when an 18-year-old shoots at two people, forget that they're cops. I believe him that he didn't know they were cops. I do. He shoots at two people, and you don't get an attempted murder charge. Remember, I'm not talking about what it says in his paper, in his jacket after sentencing, because we see charges are lowered all the time. It's a game every state plays. But you don't get attempted murder charge, which means from the get-go, you're only working with so much. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But I imagine what happened there is that the detectives went and said, we want to charge him with attempted murder. And the district attorney said no. And then imagine being a cop in an anti-crime violent unit, and you can't charge someone who shoots at you, who puts a bullet into your car while you're sitting in it with attempted murder. You can't even charge them with that, because the charge is the tool that you use then to find out maybe there was a second shooter. Maybe you can lead us, it's just more firepower to get you to do bigger things, the big picture. But no, he was charged with criminal attempt in the first degree, unlawful discharge, and carrying a pistol. He gets 15 years suspended after 6 years and 4 months. So just 6 years and 4 months, and with parole eligibility after serving 50%. And this is the picture that we're showing. This is what it means to have an alternative approach to justice, district attorney. They should have the right. Now, it's on the extreme opposite of things. Louisiana, we covered a parole hearing, and I wasn't for this charge, by the way, but a man was caught in a sting operation selling narcotics. I don't remember if it was devil's lettuce or something stronger, but it was like a few pounds. It wasn't, and they had the whole unmarked, they had like 20 cops there. And they messed up. The cops messed up real bad because instead of tackling him on the ground and arresting him right there, he was able to run back to his car, get in his car, and drive out of the parking lot. And they did a vehicle pursuit. But while he was driving out of the parking lot, there were 9 police officers that were in and around his vehicle. He didn't end up touching any of them with his car, but they said it came close to them. And they charged him with 9 counts of attempted murder. And it stuck. So like in his jacket, he has 9 counts of attempted murder of a police officer. He was sentenced to life in prison, like 9 lives in prison. And now I don't agree with that either. I think the police messed up. I don't think he actually was intending on killing any of them. I don't think, that's just my opinion. You can get all the, but those are 2 different states, 2 different extremes. I think neither extreme is good in my opinion. But let's go over this. And I have an update for you as well that I'd like to share with you guys after. So 18-year-old Hartford resident arrested in connection with shots fired at unmarked car. Hartford, new details about the suspect say that he shot 2 Hartford officers in unmarked on Tuesday, the 18-year-old, blah, blah, blah. So new details about the suspect. 18-year-old Wallen faced charges this morning. Police explained at a news conference that the officers in the violent crime unit were familiar with Wallen and that he considered a person of interest. So he ended up getting away, right? Can you guys even see my screen? It's kind of blurry. I hate these websites. I want to read an article. No, give me this pop-up. Give me that pop-up. And it's like, why? Why? See this? Why? How is this beneficial to show me that screen? Police do not believe Wallen knew the people of the car were officers. That individual is known to us in regards to local street gangs in the area. And so there's potential. Maybe he thought it was a rival gang or whatnot. The officers were not hurt, but an officer in trouble call went out, leading to major response in the area and a call to residents to stay in place. He initially got away, but officers later found him in the home in Manchester at 2:40 in the morning. Police say Facebook is what led the officers to the neighborhood to begin with. So this genius over here posted something on Facebook. According to the arrest warrant, detectives came across a Facebook picture of 3 people, one of them believed to be Wallen holding guns, conducting a proactive this is so stupid, firearm investigation due to increased gunfire and firearm-related crimes occurring to this specific area. The 2 officers were able to identify Wallen as the person who shot them through photographs and surveillance video. Okay, so I guess it was him. That fired both guns. It's nothing but the movies. There's no reason to fire with 2 guns. It's just funny. I can't believe he even hit the vehicle. We are here in the community, and we try to make the community as safe as possible as we do conduct the investigation. He's charged with criminal attempt, first-degree unlawful discharge, and carrying a pistol. That's all he was charged with. That's insane. Again, I'm a broken record, but I don't know how you shoot at a human being, put bullets in their car while they're in it, and not get attempted murder. Charge. I'm talking about a charge. I'm not talking about a conviction. Okay. So what's the update? The update is that some of you may know a fellow YouTuber, Dumb Criminal. So Dumb Criminal, we're going to go and raid his stream tonight after this. I want you to stick around. We're doing a stream raid. Hopefully it works. He's in New Zealand, so the time zone, we're trying to get it to work, but stick around so we can go into the stream and watch a parole hearing where he gives us honors. He gives the Mandalorians honors, and it's a funny parole hearing. He's so funny. He's such a funny guy. The algorithm really has not been helping him. He's stuck under the 20,000 sub range for over a year. So, show support. He's shown us support, show him support. And let's go raid his channel. But also he made a banner Remember the banner that I always end with? So he added Lady Holly to it. And look how beautiful that is. And he put in a lot of work. He has written an email saying it took him a long time. He had to, you know, I could even read the words for you. He says, let's see the exact words that he used to come up with it. So he was thinking about the work on this for before, you know, for those of you who don't know Lady Holly, I haven't heard from her in over a month. She was hit by a car. We got an email from a hospital bed about an infection taking in, and we haven't heard from her. And we're hoping for the best. But DC Criminal created this, you know, have been working on it since before that happened. And I think he did a beautiful job instilling her. You know, I've never met her. I've never seen her. He's never seen a picture of her. This is just through her fighting spirit and her background story, which I shared with her about her being a squadron commander, being wounded in action from indirect fire on her base in Afghanistan, fighting through her wound for a year. It ended up that got an infection. She lost use of her arm, and that's why there are complications after getting hit by the car. And I only have her email. I don't know how to find her to see if we're okay, but it is scary. But this is one way to this is one way to salute her for all the work, because although we haven't spoken in a long time, I still dive into her spreadsheet because she did all the research really for months and months and months of research. So every time I dive in the spreadsheet, I'm using Lady Holly's work. So it says, hope you like the graphic, bro. I am pleased. I'm reading now his email when he sent me the graphic, DC. Yeah, I kind of like how the graphic depicts the war and raw and brute power it holds on a battlefield, and the dichotomy of the prefix lady and how people perceive what a lady would look like. I think it imprints that in a graciously brutal, perfect way. And he's really funny, this guy, because he's from New Zealand and she's from Australia, and he puts in some humor. I'll try not to hold the Aussie thing against her because there's like a rivalry. He's a funny guy. He says it's like the Kiwi Aussie thing. What's he say? He says, it's easy when it comes to Dude Warriors, but for some reason I've been stuck in a repeat, redo, repeat, as with every time it comes out, ladyish and not enough warrior. So we are both into bringing these DCs and monsters, DCs are dumb criminal, into the light and burning them. I wanted to represent that in the personality, the image I have in my head. Even if she's an Aussie, she must be one of the okay ones, I figure. Lol. It's a Kiwi Aussie thing, he says. They think they can play rugby, only sometimes. I love the rivalry. So anyways, let's go head over there to give a good old stream raid and some prayers and thoughts to Lady Holly. And with that, I'll let you go.